Hello, my name is Ty Vomsall. This is my AEP 858 case study, Every Day Counts. To summarize the case, myself, Mr. Rhodes, is a first-year principal at Golden Oaks High School, which serves an increasingly diverse population of 965 students. In my first year, the school superintendent, Mr. Newman, has informed me of several problems with the school's instructional programs that he would like to be improved. The biggest concern and the primary thing that Mr. Newman would like me to work on is the school's attendance, as we quickly went from having the highest attendance in the district to the lowest attendance rates in the district. After the conclusion of my first semester, I pulled attendance reports and data, and it was determined that 85%, which is about 659 students, over the course of first semester had missed 10 or more days of school. I decided to choose 5 of those students who had missed 10 or more days of school for a variety of reasons to kind of highlight, to look at for this attendance issue. The 5 students I identified were Karen, Tyrone, Christina, Carl, and John, who are all a variety of different genders, grade levels, involvement levels, and academic levels with school. Our other attendance-related issues are stemming from reports that school staff has not necessarily been following the policies that are outlined for them. So things like the athletic director has been known to favor athletes in supporting absences of those varsity athletes. There has been a report of a parent requesting a meeting with a guidance counselor that was ignored. There's reports that homeroom teachers are consistently or inconsistently excusing students / approving absence requests and not necessarily following the district policy on how those requests and how those absences work. It is becoming increasingly clear that not all stakeholders are on the same page with attendance policies. So the real question is, how do we correct this? To summarize the stakeholders involved in this, primary stakeholder is myself, Mr. Rhodes, the first year principal at Golden Oaks High School. The school staff members are big stakeholders because they are definitely part of the issue for some of them, but they're also going to be part of the solution for making sure that we can create and maintain policies that are actually going to encourage attendance as opposed to non-attendance. Some of the other stakeholders are the students that are involved. Karen is an 11th grader. She was previously a great student, but recently her attendance has been declining. Tyrone is a 10th grader. He is in the honors program, but is missing a lot of school for family trips. Christina is a 9th grader who is missing a lot of school for work-related stuff and has been sent attendance notes by her minister trying to excuse her for church functions. Carl is a 10th grader whose parents don't support a strong need for attendance. He attends regular classes in the morning time and then vocational classes in the afternoon. And then there is John, an 11th grader. He's the starting quarterback, has suffered an injury and misses Fridays and some other classes for therapy fairly frequently. Additional stakeholders are the families of the students. It's a diverse population of students and families of a variety of different ethnicities and socioeconomic statuses. And then other stakeholders are support services that Mr. Newman has asked me to work with to help support our attendance challenge. Social services, juvenile court system, they're going to be involved as stakeholders as depending on how this case study goes and the direction that it goes. They may need to enforce attendance policies or at least be involved in the outcomes of the decision that is going to be made. For legal and ethical issues, has anyone been harmed? Long answer, short, yes. They have been harmed. Students' education and academic success has been harmed due to a lack of consistent attendance policies. Parents who are not supporting their students with attending school on a consistent basis, that is definitely harming them and their welfare. Inconsistent homeroom teachers approving excused absences creates a consistency issue at the school. that may be caused by lack of training or for whatever reason. It does harm just the general population because of the inconsistency. Policies only work if they're consistent, and we can use that consistency to gather data on whether they're actually working or not. Does the situation contravene existing law? School's attendance is legally governed by a concept of parens patriae, which gives states the power over the welfare of children. Since school is considered to be vital to the welfare of children, they must attend school. Parents who have the duty to educate their student or their child and don't can be held legally liable for not sending them to school. As far as a breach of contract, teachers who are not following the district attendance policies may be in breach of contract for not following the procedures outlined in the staff handbook. So to synthesize the situation, due to a lack of consistency in following the policies and the lack of attendance oversight, Golden Oaks High School is experiencing an attendance issue that needs to be addressed and corrected by a data-informed and equitable plan that supports school improvement and student development. To go back over the People's Place and program, people involved, myself, Mr. Rhodes, first year principal, Dr. Newman, the superintendent, who has tasked me with solving this attendance problem. We're looking at these students with 10 plus absences, plus the other 680 something who have missed 10 plus days of school. So basically the entire student body will be affected by this decision. The parents of the students mentioned, as well as all of the other ones who have missed school regularly. And then the other people involved are specific teachers and admin, additionally with counselors, the ones who have not necessarily been following through with the policy, and kind of exacerbating the problem by allowing these attendance policies to kind of slip and not being enforced consistently across the board. The place is Golden Oaks High School. We know that it has a diverse student and family population. It's getting more diverse by the year. Most families are middle class, but some live in poverty and some are on the other end with high income. There are a lot of sports and activities for students to get involved with, but not a lot of parental support in ensuring that they can always attend those sports and activities, especially after school. Most parents are busy and many are commuting 1 to 2 hours a day for work, which doesn't leave them as much time to be involved in ensuring that students can be involved with things after school or possibly even before school. The program, we know that the school has a low turnover rate for teachers. Most teachers at the school have 10 plus years of experience, and the school has fairly clearly outlined policies for attendance and repercussions for non-attendance. The district has been known to work well with support services like social services and juvenile court. Just kind of need to reignite that partnership. And then we know that the attendance rates have been a concern and have been slipping for the last year or so as more individuals move into the school. To review the information, things to consider. Could the conflict situation or decision be damaging to stakeholders or to the community? Yes, the situation can have many adverse consequences to the stakeholders in the community. The way that it is right now, the perception of the school has changed. We used to be one of the schools with the highest attendance. Now we're on the opposite end of the spectrum. So the perception around the attendance policies and the importance of them has definitely changed and has possibly led to more people just not seeing school as a place that they need to be at regularly. Poor attendance is almost always correlated with poor grades, so the student's academic performance could continue to slip if the issue is not addressed. Parents need to be more engaged with the school and the policies at the school. Note that there's been a lot of increase in diversity, a lot of increase in people just moving to Golden Oaks High School, so there could be discrepancies as far as how those policies are communicated. More communication needs to happen between teachers, counselors, and parents. Really, to correct any sort of attendance issue, you need to have all stakeholders consulted and involved on a consistent basis. and the school and surrounding community could become disconnected if attendance issues are allowed to continue or potentially get worse. Other things to consider, the stakeholder and stakeholder consultation and impact. Who has an important stake in the decision? Many different stakeholder groups have an important interest in the decision of the situation for a variety of different reasons. The students with attendance issues, obviously the outcome of the decision or action by me, Mr. Rhodes, could have a large impact on the students that have attendance issues for a variety of different reasons. Obviously it's going to kind of require them to be a little bit more present in school than they have become accustomed to. That is going to be a change for them. Parents and community, parents who support the non-attendance of their students may have consequences or legal drawbacks for their involvement in attendance issues. Teachers and counselors are involved as well. The teachers and staff at the school will be impacted by the decision, as it will definitely change expectations and policies, and teachers are going to be expected to follow through across the board on those policies, not just kind of leave it up to the discretion like it has been over the last year. So all necessary stakeholders will be impacted by the decision on how to address the slipping attendance at the school. Regardless of the decision, it can definitely have an impact on the entire school community. So, last little thing before we get to solutions, just additional facts and information to consider as far as what additional information would be nice for me to have in this case study. The facts and information presented provide a fairly complete picture of the situation, but obviously there is information missing that could assist in providing more clarity on the situation. This first one being, out of 965 students, we're only focusing on 5 of them. I would like to gather more data and obtain a more complete trend of numbers of students missing 10 plus days per semester and why. I know that for this semester it was reported about 85% of them. I want to know how much that trend is continuing, how much it's getting worse each year. Maybe looking at the different socioeconomic statuses and ethnicities of students that are missing 10 plus days, so that we can kind of factor that into trying to identify potential causes of those issues. I would like to know, why are homeroom teachers tasked with approving or not approving absences? Seems like giving the same policies to a variety of people can always cause discrepancies as far as who is consistently enforcing and following those. Is there no attendance secretary? Can we centralize that system so that it decreases the amount of variability as far as who is going to be approving them or not approving absences? What supports and trainings have new and existing staff gotten about attendance policies? How can we ensure there's follow-through on that? Is there anything that requires them to follow through with the attendance policies as written? How are the policies communicated to the parents and community? And have the policies changed at all while the demographic population of the students has changed as well, or have they just kind of remained rigid and the same regardless of the change of their population? So all of these things would be great information to have. Do I have enough information to make a decision? Yes, I believe that I do. And we will look at those decisions in part 2.